In the heart of a quiet and isolated town, nestled between dense woods and abandoned fields, stood a grand Victorian mansion. The young woman, Lily, had recently inherited this eerie abode from a distant relative she had never met. Eager for a fresh start in life, she decided to move in and make it her own. Little did she know that her newfound sanctuary would soon turn into a nightmare. As Lily settled into her new home, she felt an inexplicable chill in the air. The house had an unsettling atmosphere, and odd noises echoed through its halls. Despite the unease creeping up her spine, Lily tried to dismiss it as mere nerves from living alone in such a large and unfamiliar place. One night, as the moon hung ominously in the sky, Lily heard a faint scratching sound coming from above her bedroom ceiling. Thinking it was just a rodent, she resolved to deal with it in the morning. But the next night, the noise persisted, growing louder and more distinct. Unable to ignore it any longer, Lily decided to investigate. She climbed up to the attic, the creaky stairs protesting with every step. As she pushed open the door to the attic, a wave of cold air enveloped her, and a sense of dread washed over her. In the dim light, she saw scattered belongings and dusty furniture, but what caught her attention was an old photograph lying amidst the clutter. The photograph depicted a man with a hauntingly sinister gaze, someone she had never seen before. His eyes seemed to follow her, and the corners of his mouth curled into an eerie grin. The image sent shivers down Lily's spine, but she couldn't tear her eyes away. Suddenly, a voice echoed through the attic, chilling her to the bone. "Welcome home, Lily," it whispered, its tone laced with an unsettling mix of charm and malice. Terrified, Lily turned around, searching for the source of the voice. There, standing in the shadows, was a tall, gaunt figure wearing tattered clothes. His face was partially obscured by a mop of unkempt hair, but his eyes gleamed with an unsettling intensity. "Who are you? What are you doing here?" Lily stammered, fear rendering her voice barely audible. The man stepped forward, revealing a sly grin. "I've been living here for quite some time, my dear," he replied. "This house was meant to be mine, you see, but now you've taken it from me. I'm not too pleased about that." Lily's heart pounded in her chest as the reality of the situation sank in. This stranger had been living in her home without her knowledge, watching her every move from the shadows. "Why haven't you shown yourself before? Why now?" Lily managed to ask, trying to gather her wits. The man chuckled darkly. "I enjoyed watching you squirm, to see the fear in your eyes as you unknowingly shared my space. But now I think it's time for me to reclaim what's rightfully mine." Fear and desperation fueled Lily's fight-or-flight response. She turned and ran down the attic stairs, feeling his malevolent gaze burning into her back. As she fled to the safety of her bedroom, she knew she couldn't stay in that house a moment longer. Fueled by adrenaline and terror, Lily gathered her essentials and fled into the night, seeking refuge with a friend until she could figure out what to do next. The man's chilling laughter echoed in her mind, reminding her that he was still out there, lurking in the shadows of her once beloved home. Little did Lily know that the sinister presence in her attic was not just an ordinary man. It was a malevolent spirit, tied to the house by a dark history of tragedy and malevolence. The house had its own secrets, and it seemed determined to keep them hidden, no matter the cost. From that day on, the grand Victorian mansion stood empty, its dark secrets hidden within its walls. And the unknown man in the attic remained, waiting for another unsuspecting soul to claim the house as their own, perpetuating the cycle of terror and tragedy for generations to come.